Biddy. So tonight I have a little stack of vintage books. I previously had shared with you some vintage books that I had picked up at a thrift store, and this time I have a couple that I had left out, as well as some new ones that I picked up at a different thrift store. And I just thought we could take a look at them. Do some tapping. Page for page. Maybe a little reading. And I also have my iPad so that I could maybe look up some of the books to see if we could find some more information. So let's get started. So this first one is called No Time for Sergeants. No Time for Sergeants. The author is Mac Hyman. And you can also see that the spine is a little bit distressed. The fabric has started to tear on the side. So let's see when this was written. First printing. It says copyright 1954 by Mac Hyman. There's a dedication to William Blackburn. A disclaimer, I don't know what any of these books are about or their origins. If anything is questionable, please don't blame me. The thing was, we had gone fishing that day, and Pa had wore himself out with it, the way he usually did when he went fishing. I mean, he went at it pretty hard and called the fish all sorts of names. He lost one pretty nice one, and hopped up in the boat and banged the pole down in the water, which was about enough to scare a big-sized alligator away, much less a fish. And he spent most of the afternoon after that cussing and ranting at everything that happened. And all he caught was one catfish, which weren't much bigger than the worm he was using. And he got finned by that. So by the time I brought the boat back in, he was sitting in the front with the back of his neck red and his jaws moving in and out the way he gets when he's upset, not speaking to me at all. There's a little icon here of a house or a building, and then there's a little stain here as well. Can you smell the book? So that's No Time for Sergeants from 1954, I believe it was. 1954. This next one is a pretty bright blue color, as you can see. This is called Diary of Samuel Pipp. Does anyone know how to say this? I actually thought we could look this up. So, let's see. Samuel Pipp. Maybe I'll find a pronunciation. Okay. This is Wikipedia. Samuel Pepys. Pepys. His last name is pronounced Pepys. I don't know. Oh, he was a Tory. Was an English writer and Tory politician. He served as an official in the Navy Board and Member of Parliament, but is most remembered today for the diary he kept for almost a decade. Though he had no maritime experience, Pepys rose to be the chief secretary to the Admiralty under both Charles II and James II through patronage, diligence, and his talent for administration. So he was born February 1633 and died in May of 1703 at age 70. Okay, so that's who Samuel Pepys is. Am I reading that right? One second. So this is his diary. Volumes 4 to 6 from 1664 to 1667. Three years of yapping. So, the pages in this book are also very, very thin. Like, can you hear that? Very thin. Oh, let's see when this book was published. Well, I guess 1664 is when it was written. But the book itself 1952. What the heck was he even talking about? This edition was first published in 10 volumes, 1893 to 1899, in which form it has been frequently reprinted. What is he even talking about in this book? Let me see. His diary. He recorded his daily life for almost 10 years. He has been called the greatest diarist of all time due to his frankness in writing concerning his own weaknesses and the accuracy with which he records events of daily British life and major events in the 17th century. He wrote about the contemporary court and theater, including his amorous affairs with actresses, his household, and major political and social occurrences. Okay, so, yeah, he was just kind of yapping. Let's see if we can read a little bit. Up betimes and to my chamber, it being a very wet day all day, and glad am I, and glad am I that we did not go by water to see the sovereign today as I intended, clearing all matters and packing up my papers and books, and giving instructions in writing to my executors, thereby perfecting the whole business of my will, to my very great joy, so that I shall be in much better state of soul, I hope, if it should please the Lord to call me away this sickly time. At night to read, being weary with this day's great work, and then after supper to bed, to rise betimes tomorrow, and to bed with a mind as free as to business of the world, as if I were not worth 100 in the whole world, everything being evened under my hand in my books and papers, and upon the whole I find myself worth, besides Brampton estate, the sum of 2,164, for which the Lord be praised. Well, whose title we cannot even read on the spine, or the front, or the back. So we'll have to open it up. Uncle Silus. Called My Uncle Silus. First published in 1939. This edition was published in 1947. So we have a table of contents. Pretty small book. In the graveyard of one of the pleasantest villages in Bedfordshire, standing in the undulating, beautifully wooded country that is typical of that part of the Ouse Valley, there lies buried a certain Joseph Betts, late husband of my maternal grandmother's sister, Mary Ann, herself the most exquisite cook of a floury potato with butter sauce that ever lived in that district. This Joseph Betts, born at the very beginning of the hungry 40s, brought up to a church in which the serpent was still part of the Sunday morning orchestra, able to recall the arrival of news of the Crimea by a messenger from London on a white horse was the original of My Uncle Silus. Oh my. Oh, that was a preface. I didn't even read the top. My great Uncle Silus used to live in a small stone-reed thatched cottage on the edge of a pine wood, where nightingales sang passionately in great numbers through early summer nights and on into the mornings, and often still in the afternoons. On summer days after rain, the air was sweetly saturated with the fragrance of the pines, which mingled subtly with the exquisite honeysuckle scent, the strange vanilla heaviness from the creamy elderflowers in the garden hedge, and the perfume of old pink and white crimped double roses of forgotten names. It was very quiet there, except for the soft, water-whispering sounds of leaves and boughs, and the squabbling and singing of birds in the house thatch and the trees. The house itself was soaked with years of scents, half sweet, half dimly sour, with the smell of wood smoke, the curious odor of mauve and milk-colored and red geraniums, of old wine and tea, and the earth smell of my Uncle Silus himself. That's the first paragraph. And there are drawings in here, illustrations. This is where I was just reading. I reckon that's Uncle Silus in that picture. There's another picture there. Saw a picture of a naked person. Oh, and this is by H.E. Bates. I forgot to mention. No signature in this one. Stories by H.E. Bates. And this is also from England. The Reprint Society, London. Okay, so that's my Uncle Silus. Next, I have a book called The Trembling Hills. And it just says Whitney. There's someone's first and last name in here, and the name 1957, like someone had put their name in there because it was their book. 1957. By Phyllis A. Whitney. That sounds familiar. Did we do this book already? Or did I do another book by this lady? If I did this book already, I apologize. But that's okay. It was written in 1956. Copywritten 1956. And the dedication is to Ellen Roberts with affection and gratitude. I wonder if there's a synopsis in here. Usually the synopsis is on the back. Maybe we can look it up. Let's see. This is The Trembling Hills, Whitney. Let's read the synopsis. Where is it? I'm trying to pull up a good synopsis. Phyllis Whitney was an American mystery writer. Rare for her genre, she wrote mysteries for both the juvenile and the adult markets, many of which feature exotic locations. A review in the New York Times once dubbed her the Queen of American Gothics. Book details. I'm not really sure why I can't find a synopsis for this book. Let's try Amazon. I couldn't pull it up on Google, and I couldn't pull it up on Goodreads. Book overview. Sarah's childhood has been haunted by dreams of a candlelit figure glimpsed in a mirror. She now decides to follow her true love, Richie Temple, to San Francisco. But Sarah could not know about the terrors that were in store for her. When lovely young Sarah Jerome moves to San Francisco, she is filled with anticipation. Not only does the man she has loved since childhood live there, but her father, who left mysteriously so many years ago, came from San Francisco. She feels certain that now she will finally fulfill her dreams of marrying Richie Temple and finding out what happened to her father. But Sarah has another dream as well, a terrifying nightmare that has haunted her whole life. Once in San Francisco, it is clearer and more frightening than ever. What does it mean? And what does it have to do with the stormy night her father disappeared? The answers are waiting for her, as is true love, if she knows where to look. Let's see. I would show you the illustration on the front, but for some reason I don't want you to see these people's names. Maybe I can cover it. It's the illustration there. That's the Trembling Hills, which may or may not be a repeat. Okay, and then the last book I have is actually Advanced French Composition by Bertha and Onions. Is this a person named Onions? Should we look it up? What do I even search? Like, okay, advanced French composition, birth on onions. Okay. CT onions. CT onions. Charles Talbot Onions. I don't know if that's him. I mean, I guess it is. Wait, they might even put it in the book. Another name in here. It's dated 348. What's a name? Advanced French Composition. H.G. Berthon and C.T. Onions. Joint editor of the Oxford English Dictionary. Yeah, that was him. Yeah, this was published in 1948. Not our oldest, but... Oh! Copyright says, first published elsewhere. The second edition was in 1924. Reprinted in 1927. Reprinted with corrections in 1933. In Great Britain. Alrighty. these all English. Here's the contents. Front. That's what it looks like on the inside. I will not be doing a French accent today. I've done it on this channel before. I'm not doing it today. Let's take this bookmark out. It's not an old bookmark, it's one I got from the antique store. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Why did I think this was like a book teaching you how to write French composition? Advanced French composition? This is just like little stories or something. What is this? Education. The nature of religion. The spontaneity of great art. The train among the hills. The haymakers. A walk on the cliff. My handy dandy. We're going back to Amazon. No way, it can't be shipped to me. Dang. Dang. World of Books. You can buy it for $20. Heck no. I don't know, you guys. French language conversation and phrase books? Okay. Introduction. It is taken for granted that those who are about to work with this book possess such a knowledge of French syntax and construction as is necessary for the writing of continuous prose. The student, therefore, will not find in this introduction any scheme of subordinate clauses or statements of the elementary principles of word order. The following pages will deal solely with idiomatic expression and with style. Neither is it intended to provide an exhaustive treatment of these points, which would require a bulky volume to itself, but rather to outline a scheme of notes with illustrative examples, which the student will himself be able to fill up and amplify in the course of his reading of good modern authors. And then it goes on to explain some essential qualities of French style. Okay. Very interesting. This one's a little distressed as well. I can't believe you can buy this online for $20. Just go to your antique store. Your thrift store. Maybe you'll find it. I think I got this for $1. The other ones were just a quarter. A quarter each. But yeah, I love my teach books. I have a whole bunch of them now, and I'll keep getting more probably. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. And thank you so much for watching.